Best Macs 2020. Let us show you our picks for the best Macs and MacBooks money can buy. From the best MacBooks to the best Macs, Apple's PC offerings have been extremely influential in the computing world, so much so that they occupy a space of their own. It's more than just their svelte yet surprisingly touch chassis and minimalist, modern design. The powerful specs under the hood, nifty features that are uniquely Apple's, and an OS environment that's incredibly seamless make Mac computers a favorite among creative professionals. It's no surprise that many are getting on the Mac bandwagon. Your computing experience on one of the best Macs and MacBooks is simply a unique and smooth one. And, even though every single one comes with a premium price, they're worth every penny in the long run, especially since they last you quite a while as well. 1. MacBook Pro 16-inch 2019, the best Apple laptop. CPU, 9th generation Intel Core i7-i9, graphics, AMD Radeon Pro 5300M, Radeon Pro 5500M, RAM, 16GB to 64GB, screen, 16-inch Retina display with True Tone, storage, 512GB to 8TB SSD. Pros and cons: stunning 16-inch screen, new and improved keyboard, expensive, limited to 4 Thunderbolt 3 ports. While we are sad that Apple has retired the 15-inch MacBook Pro, we're more than happy to see the MacBook Pro 16-inch 2019 hit the shelves. As thin, light and sleek as ever, this doesn't feel like a 16-inch behemoth. If you're worried that this was going to be bulky and awkward to use, don't be. Yet, despite its svelte frame, you're still getting that extra real estate on that stunning display, as well as the latest and greatest components behind it. Apple then rounds those out with amazing and loud speakers and a much better keyboard. This is truly the best MacBook for content creators, designers and other creative professionals. Apple Mac Mini 2018. Apple Mac Mini 2018 is packed with 8th generation desktop processors. 2. Mac Mini 2018. Same size, way more power. CPU, 8th generation Intel Core i3 Core i7, graphics, Intel UHD graphics 630, RAM, 8GB to 32GB, storage, 128GB to 2TB PCIe-based SSD, dimensions, WXDXH, 19.7 by 19.7 by 3.6 cm. Hugely improved specs, tiny, aesthetic design. Expensive Mac Mini fans, rejoice. The Mac Mini has finally been upgraded with modern hardware, ushering Apple's smallest Mac to the modern age and naturally warranting it the top spot in our best Macs list. This tiny thing is packed with 8th generation desktop processors, a ton of RAM and some of the fastest SSDs we've seen, all while keeping the same adored form factor. It's a tad pricier this time around, but with the raw speed on offer, you'll find that it's worth the price increase. MacBook Pro 15-inch 2019. MacBook Pro 15-inch 2019 is refreshed with hexa-core 9th generation processors. Image credit, Apple III. MacBook Pro 15-inch 2019. Apple's productivity machine gets the latest Intel tech. CPU, 9th generation Intel Core i7-i9, graphics, AMD Radeon Pro 555X 560X, Intel UHD graphics 630, RAM, 16GB to 32GB, screen, 15.4-inch 2880 by 1800 Retina display, storage, 512GB to 4TB SSD, dimensions, HXWXD 34.93 by 24.07 by 1.55 cm. Pros and cons: powerful, decent configuration options. Screen remains gorgeous. Expensive. Lack of ports. Keyboard concerns remain. If you want the most performance you can get in a MacBook without needing to pull off a heist, you'll want to look into the MacBook Pro 15-inch. Now refreshed with hexa-core 9th generation processors and up to 32GB of RAM, you won't be held back by anything you throw at it, especially now that you can get Radeon Pro Vega 20 graphics. With that kind of performance, the MacBook Pro takes a lofty spot on our best Macs list without breaking a sweat. iMac 27-inch 2019. If you're looking for an all-in-one Mac, the new 27-inch iMac might just be the best Mac for you. Image credit, Apple IV. Apple iMac 27-inch 2019. Apple's most affordable all-in-one. CPU, up to 3.6 GHz 8-core Intel Core i9, graphics, AMD Radeon Pro 570X, Radeon Pro Vega 48, RAM, 8GB to 64GB, screen, 27-inch, diagonal, Retina 5K display 5120 by 2880, storage, 1TB Fusion Drive 2TB SSD, dimensions, HXWXD, 51.6 by 65.0 by 20.3 cm. Pros and cons: stunning 5K display, quiet under load. SSD upgrades are expensive. The iMac has long been one of the cheaper ways to get into the macOS ecosystem, and we're glad that hasn't changed. Though what has changed, we also appreciate. The new iMac is packing with 8th and 9th generation desktop class processors, letting this stylish all-in-one reach that fabled 8-core performance. If you're looking for an all-in-one Mac, the new 27-inch iMac might just be the best Mac for you, at least if you're on a budget. Advertisement. Read the full review. iMac 27-inch, 2019. MacBook Pro with Touch Bar 13-inch, mid-2019. The MacBook Pro with Touch Bar 13-inch, mid-2019, is quieter and more reliable. Image credit, Apple 5. MacBook Pro with Touch Bar 13-inch, mid-2019. The same, but stronger. CPU, 8th generation Intel Core i5, 8th generation Intel Core i5, graphics, Intel Iris Plus graphics 645 to 655, RAM, 8GB to 16GB, screen, 13.3-inch diagonal LED backlit display with IPS technology, 2560 by 1600, storage, 128GB to 2TB SSD, dimensions, HXWXD, 30.41 by 21.24 by 1.49 cm. Pros and cons: much more powerful, more storage. Keyboard learning curve. The biggest issue with the older MacBook Pro was that it was still packing Kaby Lake processors while its rivals had moved ahead. Luckily, the MacBook Pro 2018 changes everything, making it more powerful than ever. It still has the controversial butterfly keyboard, but that's also been improved so that it's quieter and more reliable. It's not hard to recommend the 13-inch MacBook Pro 2019 to anyone looking for the best Macs. 6. MacBook Air 2020, new and improved for 2020. CPU, Intel Core i3 i7, graphics, Intel Iris Plus graphics, RAM, 8GB to 16GB, storage, 256GB to 2TB PCIe-based SSD, dimensions, 30.41 by 21.24 by 1.61 cm. Pros and cons: lower price of entry. New 10th generation processors, improved keyboard, screen colors, a little muted, battery life only okay, webcam still just 720p. Apple's thinnest and lightest MacBook is back in 2020 with a vengeance. Not only has it fixed a lot of the complaints with its predecessors, namely, that problematic keyboard is now gone, replaced by a drastically improved keyboard, but it also comes with new and more powerful internal components, even more storage space options, and a lower price of entry. There are a couple of things we do better, like the muted screen and the average battery life, but this model of the MacBook Air is better than anything we've seen from the line to date. What to look for in the best Macs and MacBooks, whether it's the new 16-inch MacBook Pro that just came out or the Mac Pro 2019 that's also just released, it's not hard to see why the best Macs are the weapons of choice of creative professionals. And even if you don't go for the newest releases, there's already a few excellent options to choose from, especially with Apple recently giving its MacBook Air 13-inch MacBook Pro and 15-inch MacBook Pro that much needed update. The best part is that the best Macs come in different shapes, sizes and price, so that whether you want the cheapest MacBook, you could find a professional workhorse that breezes through all your extensive workloads like a Pro, or an all-in-one that saves you space, there's a Mac on the market for you.